Now, when you cut off someone's head, though, and this is the strange thing I noticed about the Book of Mormon, right? It talks of someone getting their head cut off, right? Right. Watch what happens when you cut off someone's head, right? Blood comes out. Blood comes out. For a few seconds. Now, this is Kill Bill, Volume 1, right? But, that's kind of the weird thing I noticed about the Book of Mormon, too, right? They talk about one of the dudes cutting off somebody's head, right, in one of the stories, right? And see, like the Bible, you gotta read to get to the deeper parts of the parts they don't teach you, right? See, that's the thing, right? I see this in all religions, even Latter-day Saints, especially dealing with Jesus, right?
Except, of course, a subject that was just under discussion. ただ今問題になったことは除きますが。Price you pay. Whether my Chinese or American heritage as a negative is, I collect your head.
Uh-oh, couldn't say that word.
Here.
Uh-oh.
Now, if any of you sons of bitches go... Hey, now's the time!
I think that's kind of funny, though, too. But what I'm trying to point out to them, well, if you cut someone's head off, right, there's going to be blood everywhere. And what's weird is they talk about it like it wouldn't get on the code or something, right? It's just something I saw on it, right? I'll show you again my name. I mean, right. Right. But the point is, I know.
And what did you get, Mike?
Now, that would be the reverse in everyone else's house.
Intelligence is the Fudge doesn't want you trained in combat. Combat?
What does he think? We're forming some sort of wizard army?
That's exactly what he thinks. But Dumbledore was assembling his own forces to take on the Ministry.
Okay.
It's kind of more paranoid than a minute. The others.
So that's Harry Potter, right? Now they're going to have a bunch of marathons, including Back to the Future, things like that, for your holiday viewing pleasure, right? Now Freeform is just showing Home Alone a lot, right? Ancient Aliens, Kill Bill, Volume 1 and 2 are on today, right? A Miracle Before Christmas, right?
It looks like you're on your own.
Now TNT does a Christmas story for 24 hours every year, right? There's something about Mary. Room for One More. Remember the Night, right? The Polar Express is played a lot. The Year Without a Santa Claus. Willy Wonka, I know. Devil Wears Prada is a double feature today, right? Just go with it, right? Elf. Death Set. Edward Scissorhands. Now remember, there's a Christmas scene, The Princess Bride, right? That's not so Christmassy. The Addams Family Values, and then the Addams Family itself, right?
Can't be any worse than old Toad,
The Secret Life of Pets 2. Night at the Museum. Jumanji: The Next Level. Now, wrestling's usually on Friday on Fox, and then 2020 and Shark Tank and all that. Creed is on TNT today, right? Kong Skull Island is on tonight at 8. Rampage, right? The Meg,
So,
Ready Player One, right?
why we're here.
After wrestling, right?
Proper teacher.
Which is also on
One who's had
TV.
real experience defending themselves against the dark arts.
Why? Because you know who's back, you toshpot. So he says.
So Dumbledore says.
So Dumbledore says because he says. The point is, where's the proof? Potter could tell us more about how Diggory got killed. I'm not going to talk about Cedric, so if that's why you're here, you might as well clear out now. Come on, let's go. They're just here because they think I'm some sort of freak.
Wait, is it true you can produce a Patronus child? Yes. I've seen it.
Blimey, Harry. I didn't know you could do that. And he killed a bat.
Temperature is still in the 20s. And we will see it.
Alyssa! That's a different show, right?
Look, it all sounds great when you say it like that, but the truth is most of that was just luck. I didn't know.
On Sunday, temperature is starting off just nearly as cold as tomorrow, except we don't have the wind. So
The
we're seeing
Grinch is on tonight on
20s,
NBC,
30
right?
degrees for a high temperature on Sunday, but look at that big difference as we head into next
5 more
Friday,
steps
68
till
degrees,
Christmas,
54 degrees by
and
Thursday,
Dateline, and then the
5
Will.
temperatures in the morning time get out of the 30s above.
Christmas takes flight.
Yes.
Home holiday
It's insane.
on CBS, right?
Swing we have to go through.
All right, well, here we go swinging.
Here we go. All the coats and jackets.
That's the heavy ones,
Yes.
too. All right, thank you, Alyssa.
Mickey Saves Christmas, Olaf's Frozen Adventure, 2020, right? ABC. Fox has WWE Friday Night SmackDown, right?
Next is for
And CW has Chosen, The Chosen, right? And then Masters of Illusion, Christmas, right?
With special offers and new inventory arriving daily.
Now, I'm gonna try to find my Book of Mormon and kind of show you a few things I thought was odd in it, right? One of them involves someone being beheaded while something was going on, right? And I remember reading about it, right? And I asked them about it, right? Plus, they don't, ever talk about it in service, right? Or if they have Bible studies, see, that's what I mean, right? It's like an obscure story they don't read anymore, right? Like with Levite and his concubine, for example, right? In that story, a Levite gets this concubine, they go to his home, they start their little family or whatever, right? But then she goes back to her father's house, which was considered playing the harlot as well. So anyway, she goes back to her father's house and he goes to get her, right, to bring her back home, right? And it's the story of how he went to go get her, and then on the way back, they run into these gay people who want to rape him and or something, right? And then at the same time, right, you hear about Sodom and Gomorrah, but not this dude, right? It's what I mean. There are stories in the Bible they're not telling you about for some reason, right? Now, these men did get to his concubine and raped her all night, right? In fact, that's the same word Moses uses when he talks of Adam and Eve knowing good and evil. Well, the word "knew" there is the same word "knew" with Adam and Eve and Eden, right? See, the word "knew" is yada, and it means several different things, including possible rape if it's spelled differently than the other forms, right? Now that's because you're not reading it yourself, people, Christian, Jews, or Muslims, right? When you have a book, right, and you don't read the stories and comprehend what it's saying, right, you're not getting the full message. There's something more going on there, right? Now, another problem with judging people is they're going to tend to not like being judged like at Sodom and Gomorrah anyway, right? But the problem is, right, if you're having sex with people and a stranger comes into town and ain't familiar with your customs, are you going to force them, right, to have sex? Well, that's probably part of the point God's making here, right? Now, what's the difference between consensual sex, right? One, you can't tell someone else wants to be with them if they do not, right? That's what I think happened with the girl in the salon, right? Someone thought I would be interested in her because she was doing something wrong, like working in their daddy's store at 15, right? But I didn't know who they meant either, right? But see, the girl did something with me or I wouldn't lost an hour of time. You might could have played in 20 minutes, right? You might could have played maybe even 30 minutes longer in the salon, right? But an hour? Me and the girl did something else. I told you that, right? That's why I know something happened more than just me going to the salon, right? And it's freaking him out too, right? And I told him why. I didn't go in there to be with a girl. I thought it was a grown woman, right? And she seemed willing to do it, right? Come on, I don't know her age, right? You're supposed to know that, right? The manager of the store is responsible for who he works in the store, right? If the girl tells me she's 37 and I don't know if she is or not, right? I don't know if she is or not, right? And all it takes is her to be in the bathroom with me for 5 minutes, and most people can have sex in that amount of time, right? Really? Really? If I ain't done it in a while, especially, right? Right, but see, when whoever's assaulting me on YouTube talked to her about it, they confused her, not me. You. She thought she was better off telling me she was 37 instead of 15. Why? She thought you were to be with children. She thought if she told me she was 15, I would do something with her, I guess. Not if I thought if she was 37. I didn't tell her that. I didn't tell her that. I told her I wanted to be with older women, right? And then I had been with an Asian girl, right? And I was liking the figure skater Michelle Kwan, right? Anyway. And Michelle Kwan still reminds me of when she was skating still, right? Even though she's in her 30s too by now, right? But like I said, right? I'm not fronting anything, right? The girl did, right? And if she went into the thing, right, bathroom with me, right, she's not thinking I'm going to really do anything with her sexually, I guess, right? But then I did something with her sexually, right? But I asked her if it was okay, and she let me, though, too, right? I wanted to show her something that I couldn't show her inside the salon itself, right? And I think we're in there about 10, 20 minutes, and that's why, or 10, 15 minutes or something, right? I don't know. And see, if you have sex with someone, there's still foreplay involved, right? I know. But had she told me she was 15, I wouldn't have went in there with her. See, that's the irony of it. Irony means you made her think I wanted to be with a child, so she told me she was a 37-year-old woman, so I was with her because I thought she was really 37, right? That's called irony. But see, you tricked the girl. Whoever tricked the girl wasn't me. I didn't even know who you were talking about, right? No. I keep telling you that, right? So, see, you're not listening. I asked people their age, right? For a reason, right? Even Megan started acting weird, right? And Caitlin, I don't know if she's working anymore, but she must hide in the back every time I come out there. She's not, right? Or is. Which she can do, I guess, right? I don't sneak up on you. I'm tired. I know. I know. So I seen Puss in Boots, right? And it was pretty cool. You could see how they kind of mix different fairy tales. If you guys see it, you'll get what I mean, right? But like I said, Hollywood, you're kind of taking all the stories and copyrighting them, even if they're someone else's story, right? Yet you complain because nobody else can do it but you, because of copyright law internationally, but that's the problem too. Then you're trying to take over all the storytelling, right? Why do you think that's illegal? An abuse of power of copyright law. Mm-hmm. Even with Puss in Boots, right? I got some of the storylines, right? Just from my own life, for example. Mm-hmm. Growing a beard. You'll know what I'm talking about if you guys see the movie. As you get older or something, right? Whatever. Mm-hmm. Just for having one little secret and another secret. Go see it. Go see it. Now, like I said, the problem with making up stories, right? Right. Is we can all do it. And see, it's a storyteller, right? The Bible warns you about, right? Those who tell tales and won't stop, right? Or wants to own the tales they tell and no one else to tell the tale but them, right? That's the problem too, right? See, the tales are just made up stories, right? That's not the problem, man. Problem is, if you keep making up stories after story after story, you no longer know the truth, right? You don't even know what the problem is, right? Yeah. And when you lie about something, you can lie about anything, even religion, right? So that's why I'm telling you, the Gnostic Gospels say something a little bit different about Jesus, but that's because 300 years after Jesus, Emperor Constantine got this Orthodox Council together and changed the core of the Christian belief, right? But you don't know that, do you? No, you don't know that, do you? And you don't trust an outsider to tell you the truth, do you, right? You think you're already in the truth. If you're not, you're in a lie, right? Uh-oh. And like I keep telling you, that's the whole problem. I know. Reading the Bible is different than knowing the Bible, too, right? Or teaching the Bible out of context, right? If I'm talking about how to stop judging, right? And I show you judging in the Bible. Mm-hmm. I'm not wanting you to do that anymore. I don't want you to label people as, say, an adulterer or a fornicator if they're a couple living together, right? Like with the woman at the well and the man she was living with, right? But at the same time, if she hooked up with Jesus, the only reason we don't know or wonder what was going on in the first place is John talked about her before he talked about the woman caught in the act of adultery, by the way, as well. And both stories are in his gospel. Now, of course, you have until John dies to write any book about John you want to write, whether he wrote it himself or someone else did, right? Usually in the Bible it talks about scribes writing it down anyway. Moses didn't write about Moses. Someone who knew Moses wrote about Moses, right? Or knew of the story, right? See, some stories are passed down orally or literally, right? But the worst thing you can do about any story is say, oh, it never happened, right? When you can't prove it ever happened, right? The things in the past sometimes can get buried in the past, right? Uh-oh. But like I said, moral stories are to show us right from wrong sometimes, right? Especially what King David might have did with Bathsheba or not, right? That's showing you abuse of power of a king who takes another man's wife, murders him, then his child dies with that woman, right? And then he has two more children with a few more children with the girl, the woman herself, right? And it's putting a Jewish spin on kings like that, right? Actually. That's what it's doing, right? Do you understand? Right. Now, the same with the Greek myths, right? Zeus came down and impregnated this woman, and out came Hercules, right? and whatever. But you love to tell tales, right? But the tales also can dissuade you from reality, right? Okay. Just saying. Oh, I forgot one more thing. I had lunch at a new grill. It's kind of a grill and bar situation. It's called Milan. And I just got a hamburger today because it's kind of pricey, right? For a bar and grill, right? The cheapest thing in there was like soup for like $8, right? And that you could actually eat, right? And drinks are like close to $3, $2.95 for a drink, right? But if you're kind of into that, they had like kind of a menu, right, consistent of mainly bar food like hamburgers and chicken fingers, things of that nature. Right, great. Okay. Harry's first kiss. On Harry Potter. Mistletoe. And it looks like the room of enchantment is helping them out. Kiss a little. All right. And kind of had some unusual items like seafood lasagna, right? Never heard of that, right? And, they got appetizers, right? Salad, soup, right? They have lunch specials, right? Things of that nature. They do pork chops and stuff like that, right? And they got sides, and your usual sides of mashed potato, corns, French fries, mac and cheese, things like that, right? And so it's kind of like a bar. They got appetizers consisted of dips, wings, the usual appetizers you find at a grill. And the appetizers are around $8 as well. And like they offered cube steak, but it was about $16 for it, right? But you get two sides, I guess, right? Broccoli, things of that nature, right? And again, right? All right. So try it out if you want. Have a good day.